2. Every single morning, a young boy named Milo walked the exact same path to school. And every single morning, without fail, he passed a large, heavy stone lying right in the middle of the road. It was a constant source of frustration for everyone in the village. Kids would trip over it, sometimes scraping their knees. Adults would grumble under their breath, swerving their carts or carefully stepping around it, shaking their heads in annoyance. Someone should really do something about that stone, they'd say. But day after day, week after week, nobody ever did. The stone just sat there, a permanent obstacle in everyone's daily life. One bright morning, Milo was walking to school, listening to the usual chorus of complaints about the stone. He watched a baker nearly drop his entire tray of fresh bread, trying to get around it. He saw two friends stop their conversation mid-sentence to navigate the troublesome rock. Suddenly, Milo stopped. He just stood there and stared at the stone, really looked at it for the first time. "Oh, I'm so tired of hearing people complain," he said out loud to himself. "Why doesn't anyone just move it?" With a new sense of determination, he walked over to the stone. He placed his hands on its rough, cool surface and pushed. It didn't budge. He repositioned his feet, dug his heels into the dirt, and pushed with all his might. It was incredibly heavy, much heavier than he expected. 2. He grunted and strained, his face turning red. But then, it moved. Just a tiny bit. Encouraged, he switched tactics. He started to pull, then to roll it, using his whole body as leverage. It was a slow, difficult process. Little by little, inch by inch, he managed to roll the heavy stone off the road and into the grassy ditch on the side. Breathing heavily, covered in dirt and sweat, Milo looked back at the now clear path. He felt a surge of pride. But as he turned to leave, he noticed something in the indentation where the stone had been. It was a small, dusty metal box. His curiosity sparked. He knelt down and picked it up. It wasn't locked. He carefully lifted the lid. Inside, resting on a bed of faded velvet, was a neatly folded piece of paper. He unfolded it and read the elegant handwriting. It said, "For the one who cared enough to make a change." Beneath the note, his eyes widened. There were several shiny coins and a tiny, intricate golden key. Milo held the key in his palm, feeling its weight. In that moment, he understood something profound. Everyone in the village saw the problem. Everyone was inconvenienced by it. But everyone was waiting for someone else to be the one to fix it. They were all waiting for a hero, not realizing that any one of them could have been that person. The reward wasn't just for the strongest or the smartest. It was for the one who simply decided to act. That evening, Milo took the coins to the village shop and bought a small, handsome notebook and a pen. He went home, sat at his little wooden desk, and opened to the first page. With a thoughtful expression, he wrote his very first entry. "If something needs doing, don't wait, do what you can." He looked at the words, then at the little golden key he'd placed on his desk. He didn't know what the key opened, but he knew it was a reminder. A reminder that complaining changes nothing, but action, no matter how small, can clear the path for everyone. From that day forward, Milo changed. He started seeing the world differently. He didn't just see problems anymore. He saw opportunities. A loose fence post. He'd find a hammer and fix it. A neighbor struggling with heavy bags. He'd rush to help. He wasn't the strongest boy in the village, or the oldest, but he became known for something far more important. He became known as the boy who didn't just complain about problems, he solved them. And it all started with one stubborn stone in the middle of the road. What's the stone in your road? Maybe it's not a literal rock, but a challenge at work, a difficult conversation you've been avoiding, or a small way you could help your community. This story is a beautiful reminder that we all have the power to make a change. You don't have to wait for permission or for someone else to take the lead. Be the one who cares enough to act. Thanks for watching. And if this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content that inspires you next time.